Hi, my name is Katie, and back in my senior year of high school, I got into a secret relationship with my principal. As a kid and teenager, my family and I moved around a lot. My dad was in the military, so whenever he was sent to a new base, we had to pack up and leave within weeks. It was fun and stressful at the same time. On the one hand, I had a lot of fun meeting new people and discovering new places. On the other hand, I never stuck around to make any lasting friendships, and I constantly had to start all over again. I knew the drill perfectly. We moved into a nice new house, I got a gift for going with the flow, and then I started a new year in a new school. Most students were friendly and welcomed me without too much trouble. I was pretty and easygoing, so I rarely, if ever, got bullied. I tried to have a good time in every place I moved into and always attempted to keep in touch with friends I made along the way. When I arrived at the school I'd be spending my senior year in, something changed. Usually, every high school had this hot young teacher all the students drooled for. In this place, though, it wasn't a teacher, it was the principal. I was surprised to hear these rumors. After all, most principals I met were old and dull, or overly strict. Apparently, the headmaster at this school was incredibly handsome and so cool, but also surprisingly young. Being naturally curious, I couldn't help but want to see what the big fuss was about. Maybe it was just a silly joke most students made over and over again until it became a routine. Maybe he was an old guy and girls pretended to have the hots for him simply to poke fun. So I found an excuse to visit the principal's office. I knocked on the door, and the instant I was told to come in and stepped inside, I was stunned. I had come up with this good story why I needed to talk to him, but in an instant, my mind went blank. I couldn't remember the lie I had prepared, and all I could do was stare at him openly. Not only was he handsome, but he was also the most gorgeous man I had ever laid eyes on. I felt I could barely breathe at all, my heart beating so fast I thought everyone in school could hear it. He was young and had the most gorgeous blue eyes. He looked like a movie star, and even underneath his neat outfit, it was clear he was so muscular and fit. He introduced himself as Jared Thompson, and I mumbled my name like a silly girl. It was hard to focus on any coherent thought around him. He was so friendly and asked me to take a seat. We talked for a while, and little by little, I could relax around him. He wasn't stuck up or dull, quite the opposite. It didn't take me long to realize that Jared was incredibly fascinating. He always had interesting anecdotes to tell, and I tried to visit his office as often as possible. It was then that I noticed how often girls found excuses to spend time with him as well. Every single female student seemed to have a crush on the principal. I was determined to be different from all those silly girls. I wanted to enjoy more than a nice conversation with Jared, and I was determined to find a way to get his undivided attention. At first, I began flirting sneakily, throwing little remarks here and there just to test the waters. I thought he'd stop the conversation at once and inform me I had to understand he was an adult and I was a teenager, but he never did so. Instead, he seemed to enjoy the attention and chuckled at my silly jokes. He even told me repeatedly how cute he thought I was and complimented my hairstyle or makeup almost every day. Little by little, I began to realize that he seemed to be truly interested in me as well. Could it be that he wanted to be with me? He was older than me, but I didn't really care. Jared was so hot and fascinating. I wanted to kiss him and enjoy an intimate moment in his office, away from the rest of the students. I kept getting in trouble just to have excuses to be alone with him. One particular day, I managed to stick around after school, and I felt super excited about meeting with him again. It felt like this time was going to be different, like something was about to happen. He began speaking about his personal life and the issues he was going through. Jared mentioned how he had a hard time getting along with his girlfriend. It seemed things weren't working out. I whispered I was going to make all his problems go away. I was so glad the door was closed because I didn't want anyone to see what happened next. Jared and I shared other such encounters until the school year ended and I graduated with honors. I hugged him tightly on my last day in high school and told him how much I was going to miss him. Our secret relationship had been amazing, but it was time to move on and head to college. I never talked to anyone about this before today. I think now's a good time to confess that my name isn't really Katie, and Jared is just a pseudonym I made up. It's best that our identities remain hidden because I don't want to get him in trouble. He was so amazing, and he never pressured me to do anything I didn't want to. Now I'm in college, but I still remember that last year of school fondly. I wonder what Jared is up to from time to time. I hope he got himself a great girlfriend. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the other videos on the channel.